Previewing Week 9 in the NFL here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. Right now we're going to cover the Monday Night Football game, the Eagles and the Saints. And as with all Monday Night Football games this year, we are going to get two expert opinions, twice as many expert opinions as we get for normal Sunday NFL games. And we're going to talk today with Jeff Cadillac from jeffcadillac.com and Steubenville's own TC Williams from GameDayInsiders.com. Thanks, guys, for being here. And I guess let's start with Steubenville's own TC Williams, GameDayInsiders.com. You suggested that you have a lean on this game. You told me that this is one of the games you wanted to cover. I can see making a strong case for both of these teams and a strong case against both of these teams. So I'm not sure who you're going to pick. Both teams are kind of desperate here, need a win. Steubenville's own. Why'd you pick this game, and what side do you like?
It's a classic buy low scenario. 80% of the public is still favoring the Saints, even with their performance against the Broncos. When you hear strong talk of trading Mike Vick and getting rid of Andy Reid, and they're actually talking about replacing Vick this week, I want to put a buy order in, especially after last week, because I actually had the Falcons in that game. But here's a question you need to ask yourself. How do the Eagles go from a -3 versus the Falcons to a minus? Actually, I think at press time right here, it's at 3 versus the Saints. I just don't see the logic there. The Saints are one-dimensional, and fundamentally the Eagles are still better.
Yeah, that does make some sense to me. I know the Eagles' season this year has been marked by a high turnover count, and as we know, turnovers in the NFL are seen as having a lot to do with luck. Not entirely to do with luck, but a lot to do with luck. So in general, when you see an NFL team with a lot of turnovers, you'd sort of expect that to even out and maybe expect them to be a little bit underrated and undervalued. So maybe that's the case with the Eagles here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, Peter. I'm looking for a regression back to the mean with regard to turnover ratio. And the Eagles, actually last week against the Falcons, I think they were 0 net in the turnover ratio. But again, they're going up against a pretty high ball club in terms of power rankings. So if they can continue the trend to get back against turning the football over and taking care of the football, I think you'll see more of a return to Eagle football.
All right, well, now let's move on to Jeff Cadillac from jeffcadillac.com, see if he agrees. Jeff Cadillac, you also told me that this was a game that you specifically wanted to cover because you feel like you have an edge. What do you think? You think the Eagles are the play here as an underdog?
I tell you the truth, I do like the Eagles here as a dog because as I reviewed last week's game, Atlanta versus the Eagles, I did absolutely say that the Eagles are 1-0 as a dog throughout the year, and now they're 0-5-1 as a favorite. So I do like him here as a dog. I think last week Drew Brees, he looked like a deer in the headlights against Denver. The Denver defense did a lot of things that he did not see and was not expecting. And Philadelphia's defense, believe it or not, is very good. They're number 14 in the league versus the pass, and that's a defense that worries a guy like Drew Brees. Even though Drew Brees and the Saints are number 1 against passing offense, number 14 is one of those teams that says, okay, they're going to show us some things. They're going to, blitz. They're going to make some moves on him, and they're going to put pressure on him. And the Saints defense is without a doubt the worst defense in the NFL. They're number 32 right now. I don't think they could stop a Pee-wee team at this point. They score a lot of points, but they certainly give up a lot of points. And the only two teams that they've beaten so far is the Chargers at home and Tampa Bay on the road. And everybody else, they've lost at home against Washington. They lost against the Chiefs. They're all over the place. And there's nothing going on with the Saints that tells me in this game that they're going to win the game. Philadelphia, believe it or not, with all the problems they've been having, and Vic had no turnovers against Atlanta last week, which is a very good sign.
Yes.
I think he's due for a good game because he does have the tools. He just has to be smart in the pocket and ball control against New Orleans. New Orleans, again, their defense is just not doing the job, and it's a terrible thing. And I see it a very close game. Philadelphia's already beaten some top teams. They beat Baltimore in game 2. They've beaten the Giants. They played close in the game that they were underdog that they won, they actually played at Pittsburgh, and they did cover the spread, which was about a 2.5, 3-point spread. So Philadelphia can play close. They just can't blow it in the fourth quarter like they did that week against Detroit. So I'm looking forward to Philadelphia hopefully winning on Monday night. I see them, they could possibly even win the game outright.
All right, well, I guess we have expert consensus on the Eagles as the play for Monday Night Football. Thanks, guys, so much for giving all this input, and we'll see how it turns out.